Hi, I'm Ron Weiss. We're here at Sport Aurora TV, and we're at the Sark with Summer Mortimer. Summer, I want to welcome you to the program here, but first of all, I want to ask a couple of questions here. Summer is our Paralympian. How does it feel to be called a Paralympian?
The feeling, I mean, it's indescribable. It's completely amazing. To be called a Paralympian is really, it's an honor for me. I mean, going through such a bad accident a couple years ago and being able to make a positive out of a negative, it's a great honor to be called one.
Well, you've had quite a few positives. Can you go back a little bit in your history and tell us about some of the positive things that have happened to you in your career? Because I know there's been many.
My swimming career, I mean, I started competitive swimming at the age of 9. I've been in the pool since I was 2 years old. I mean, my family does swimming lessons, and we're completely based off of swimming. So in my household, it's, held really high. I was competitive at 9, went to Olympic trials as an able-bodied athlete at 13 in 2008 for the Beijing trials. After that, later that year, I got into a trampoline accident as a trampoline athlete, and then ended up breaking both my feet, spending half a year in a wheelchair, 2 years on crutches, said I'd never walk again, and then I went and I got assessed for Paralympics, and now I'm in the Paralympic side instead of the able-bodied side.
So you've done very well in the Paralympic side, though. Can you give me a little bit of information and background on what you've been doing in the last, since 2010?
Since 2010, my first big international meet was Worlds in Holland, I believe it was. We did a stage in Germany. I broke 4 world records and won 4 gold medals there, and since that meet I've broke multiple more world records and went to Olympic trials just a month ago, and I've qualified, made the time standards for the team, so hopefully on June 4th when the selection day is, I'll be selected for the team.
Well, good luck with that, but what are you doing now to prepare yourself, both mentally as well as physically?
Well, training is the obvious one. I'm always in the pool every day. I'm at the gym 3 or 4 times a week, depending on what the coach says. So outside of that, mental preparation, I usually play the piano, or I'm really big into art, so I like to paint, just to do things to get my mind off stuff, and hanging out with my friends has been a really good support for me, so they really help me grasp the concept of going to the Olympics this year.
Yeah, I think it's important for all our viewers to understand that the commitment that you have, but also that you have things outside of sports. So you mentioned piano and you mentioned the friendships. How much time do you spend per week in the pool and committed and devoted to your sport?
In the pool, we usually do around 2 to 3 hours a day, I think. At the gym, I'm usually there 4 or 5 hours a week. Outside of the gym, it's like doing at-home dryland stuff. So basically, it takes up most of my day.
All right, last little thing. You have any words of wisdom for all the viewers, the kids that are out there that want to aspire to be a world champion? Is there something you'd like to say about that?
If you have a dream, make sure you try your hardest and that you really love what you do, so that you can achieve your goals. You may not be able to be a world champion, but if you can take a positive out of an experience and learn, that's a success right there.
You're Summer's coach. Can you tell me a little bit about Summer and what it takes to be a coach of a world champion athlete?
Well, Summer is quite the athlete. She's very well driven. I think since her accident, she made a decision that she wanted to come back and compete. She did not want to give up her dreams and her goals to make an Olympic team, so she's gone on to the Paralympic team. She's put the work in. She's an incredible trainer and very dedicated to the sport, and it makes it easy to coach her.
So tell me, you've coached a lot of swimmers in your lifetime. I've known you being a swimming coach for, what, 30 years or so?
50.
50, you don't look 50, but 50 years of age.
I started at 15,
right.
Summer clubs.
Great. So tell me what's different about her than many of the other swimmers that you've worked with.
Biggest thing is she's set her goals, knows the work that it takes to get to the goals, and we've set a plan, and it's a very detailed plan of every day and every hour in the day, what has to be done, when to eat, when to sleep, how many hours we have to be in the pool, and she sticks to that plan. She's very focused on what has to be done, and that's what it's like at the elite levels. It's like a job, and you have to be well planned for it.
Yeah, so it's a time management thing, it's a
Exactly.
schedule.
Exactly.
Tell me a little bit about the parents and how the parents fit into this type of thing.
Well, her parents and I have been good friends for a lot of years. I've watched Summer grow up since she was very little. Her dad and I have worked together and coached. He had a swim club, I had a swim club, and he also ran a swim school. And so we've always been supported. We've gone to training camps together. So it was a very natural step to sort of step in as Summer aged up and was now ready to go that next step. Her dad is an outstanding technician when it comes to stroke technique, and really has done a great job all the way along the way.
So is that one of Summer's strengths, is her technique
Absolutely.
and the stroke mechanics that she has?
Absolutely. Great technique all the way through.
Okay, well, another thing, I guess, what are you doing to get yourself prepared? Because I understand the same kind of things may be happening for you. We may be calling you a Paralympic coach come July. So what does it take for you?
Well, I'm trying to, one, stay healthy so I can stay focused, but really what it is, my schedule is pretty much wrapped around her schedule, and I've got to not only be with her workouts, I've got to plan what she has to do and where it is, get it organized. I'm always looking for support from coaching friends who have been around to make sure we're doing all the right things for her, and again, it's building a support base around her to make sure she gets the performance that's required.
Well, let's talk about that kind of a support base, because my experience of being here, the Ducks Swim Club is in one of those very successful organizations. We also have the Master Ducks. So here we have someone who has a world record. We have a Masters world record in the Masters Duck. What makes this small town with this swimming club so dominant to have that kind of result?
First, I think Aurora is interested in fitness in this community, number one. Two, from the Ducks end of it, we try to be all-inclusive to bring people in, so you have the fitness people all the way through the competitive people. We work at all the different levels. We try to have it where we have a better coach-swimmer ratio so that we get more stroke technique taken in. We take a longer-term approach in developing our athletes, and we really, I guess it's a caring in this community all the way through at all levels, right up from council down to the parents here to make sure we do a job for the young athletes, and we see them in the pool around us, and taking them all the way to the adults who also want to stay fit. And then the adults find a way to give back to the community in terms of some fundraising they've done, in terms of community activities and being in parades and whatnot. So it's working together and bringing everybody together for it. It's paid off.
So that means to me that this isn't just a one-off, this isn't just one girl, this isn't the one champion at Masters. We have a program here that's sustainable, and it's going to work for a long time.
We see more coming, and the biggest difference was this facility has really helped. You know, it's allowed us to grow. It's given us the pool time that we need to expand, but without the pool time, we can't do all these extra programs. So we've been very fortunate, and we've had a lot of support from the town staff as well. So very grateful, very thankful, and happy to be helpful.
Well, I'm thankful that you could take some time out today and bring Summer here to have a talk with us. So best of luck in the next 3 to 4 months. I know you're going to be a busy guy, and best of luck for Summer and the rest of the Ducks.
I'm here with Sarah and Bruce Smith of Evolution Gymnastics, and we're here to talk about some great things happening that have been coming out of the club. And Sarah, I'd like to ask you about what would you like to say about Evolution and why it's unique? Why is it different, and what you have to offer our membership?
We pride ourselves on being open and welcoming and warm to families that come in. We are not, we don't turn away anybody if they want to participate in this sport. There's a place for them. We have classes for toddlers that are just learning to walk, right up to adults. We, all abilities, all ages, and we even have a team program for boys and girls, and they've been doing great at competition the last 2 seasons. This is only our 2nd year of operation. We have a great community feeling to our facility and our programs, and we think that's what sets us apart from some of the other gymnastics facilities and clubs in the area.
That's excellent. And you've got quite the athletes coming out of Evolution Gymnastics too, which have been featured in Sport in Aurora. So would you like to elaborate on that, some of your athletes and their accomplishments that have come out of the club?
Oh, Kieran Such is the one that was featured in the magazine. He's heading off to Canadian Nationals, or Canadian Easterns very shortly. He's done quite well. All the boys have done really well during the season. You spoke to young Gregory just a little while ago. That was his first competition. From his age right on up to Kieran's, they're all doing really well. We couldn't be more proud of them. Plus all of the boys and girls in the rec program as well.
Right. And you've just completed a huge event here that I was proud to be a part of. And do you want to tell us a little bit about that event, the name and the preparation that went? I know that you prepared extensively for that event. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. We recently hosted the Men's Ontario Cup, third Ontario Cup, which was a second qualifier for national level gymnasts and third qualifier for the provincial level gymnasts. There were about 300 gymnasts came over the course of a 3-day weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They competed. Most of them qualified to go on to provincial championships. The work involved in the background, we had to feed up to 50 people each meal over 3 days. We had to coordinate all the equipment, the seating. We had to rearrange our gym before and after the event, and just providing supplies and making sure everybody had what they needed. We had, considering the size of our club being so new and it being relatively small, we had phenomenal support from our parents and our staff. We had people here for the full 72 hours practically working their butts off and making it a success. And again, it was very well received by the community and we couldn't be more happy about it.
Now, as I understand, this is Aurora's first. That was your first event of that magnitude that you held here. So congratulations on that. That was so successful and I was proud to be a part of that. So Sport Aurora thanks you for including us in that. And what else I would like to ask is, you are our newest member of Sport Aurora, so Evolution Gymnastics has made our current sport organization membership up to 20, and so we would like to know, what is it about Sport Aurora that drew you to become a part of us?
I think we have a very similar philosophy in that it's about participation, and it doesn't matter if you're an elite athlete or a beginner or a weekend warrior. There's a place for you in Aurora, in sport, in athletics, and it's going to lead to a healthier lifestyle. And also, it's been proven that children, especially that participate in sports at any level, they are more primed for learning and they tend to do better in school. And it's just good, all around good, and that's why we wanted to be part of that.
Excellent, I agree. And so Sport Aurora welcomes you again. And I'd like to leave off by asking you if there's any message, what your vision or your mission is, if there's any message you'd like to send to our viewers, what is it?
Just participate and learn to love being active and fit and healthy.
I know that you are very passionate about your sport and you're very passionate about evolution, and it's great to see such passionate people organize and run such a facility. So people are drawn to very professional people, and I congratulate you on your athletes and a job well done, and we hope to see more coming out of Evolution. Thank you.
Thank you.
Louisa, how long have you been a part of Evolution Gymnastics?
About 2 years.
And what, in your whole career, what have your accomplishments been? Like, what are your successes and your good news?
Learning new skills and not getting hurt as much as I used to.
Oh, that must be pretty tough.
Yeah.
And Louisa, when you, how long do you train here?
16 hours a week.
16 hours a week. That's probably longer than most of us, we go to school, right? When you go to school, do you come here to train afterwards?
Yeah.
Really? Well, that's unbelievable. And Louisa, when you leave gymnastics and you go home, what are some of your interests? What else do you like to do?
I like to read before I go to bed.
Yeah?
I have a few different favorite books.
Yes.
I like to read.
Do you do anything, other sports besides gymnastics, or is this your passion?
Yeah.
This is
my
your passion. Wow, that's great. And Louisa, when you are done gymnastics, and this could be your career, do you have any aspirations to coach gymnastics to kids? Do you?
Yeah.
And what do you see yourself doing when you grow up?
Being a higher level gymnast.
So you want to go right up there, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, that's great. And Louisa, when you are here and you're training in your 16 hours, what are your favorite pieces of equipment that you like to use here at the gym?
I like vault and beam.
Is that your specialty?
Yeah.
So you do the vault and beam when you train, and when you go into competitions, is that what you compete in?
Yeah, I compete in 4 events.
Okay. And what are those 4 events?
Vault bars, beam, and floor.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, that's interesting. Thank you very much. I'm here with Gregory, and Gregory is 8 years old, and he is a gymnast here at Evolution Gymnastics. And Gregory, this is exciting, and it's a pleasure to meet you. And I hear that you've competed in your first ever competition. You want to tell me what you have there? Can you tell me what accomplishment you got?
I have a first medal that I got on high bar, and I got a second place on P bars.
For your first time, you walked away with 2 medals. That is well done.
And some ribbons.
Are you here for a couple of hours a week? Does it take some hard work to do that?
Yes.
Really? And where do you see yourself? What would you like to do when you grow up? You don't know, and you're only 8, and that's okay. Because what you've done there is the most important thing. And it's a pleasure to meet you, Gregory, and all the best and many more of those to come.
Hi, it's Ron Weiss back to you here with Sport Aurora TV. We're out here at the Stuart Burnett Park with our minor midgets from the AMBA. I've got one of last year's players here, and they had a pretty spectacular year here. So I want to introduce yourself.
I'm Nick Petinero.
Hi, Nick. Last year, the Bantams, that's what it was last year, right?
Yeah.
The major Bantams.
Yeah.
Had an outstanding year, so I want to ask Nick a few questions about what happened there last year. So give us a little bit about the banner year you had last year, Nick.
Well, you know what? It was a great year. We had a spectacular year. All around, the team was playing great, and we ended off winning the OBAs and the YSBAs. So,
Tell me a little bit about how hard that is, because I know that a lot of people say, oh, you win a championship, but tell me a little bit about how hard that is to do and the work you have to do to get to the OBAs and win that championship.
Well, it was a difficult run. We had a lot of practice, a lot of practicing over and over on certain things, and yeah, just a lot of hard work and commitment. So.
What position did you play last year?
Mostly left field.
But I understand you've moved over and you're the starting pitcher for tonight. How did that, or maybe you don't even know that. Do you know that yet?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, great. Why did that happen?
I'm not sure. Coach wanted to put me in, so no.
Okay, I'm going to have your coach on here pretty soon. So tell me a little bit about your coach. You had him last year. First of all, why did you come over to Aurora? Because I know you're a Bolton native. So why did you come over to Aurora to start playing over here, and when did you do that?
Well, last year I came over to Aurora to play baseball and just basically want to play at a higher level, stronger team, face stronger opponents. So, yeah.
Right. And so tell me a little bit about Coach Steve Clements. Anything you want to say about him, about the way he coaches, anything important?
Honestly, he's an excellent coach, probably one of the best I've had. So, yeah, he keeps great stats, plays everyone fairly, and he's just an amazing coach.
Well, a lot of our viewers are coaches and a lot of our viewers are parents, so it's really important for us to get the view of what the student, what the athlete really feels about. So give me another attribute that he has. I mean, I'm interested in finding out about why people come to play for a coach like him. Give me one thing that you really appreciate about him.
One thing I really appreciate is that he plays everyone fairly. He plays the right people at the right times, so yeah.
Great. So you feel like you're valued on the team a lot?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, well, thanks for being with us, Nick.
No problem,
Good luck. I know you're going to be the starting pitcher tonight.
Yeah.
Tell me about what you think's going to happen this year. I know you've got about 3 or 4 players that you've lost from last year. What's going to happen this year, do you think?
Well, you know, half of our team is new, but lots of the players are looking solid, and I think we're going to have a great year again.
Great. Hope you do too, so good luck.
Thank you.
I'm with Nick's coach, Steve Clements. Steve, we've got a long experience with each other. We've known each other for a long time, and I know you're a coach, but tell me a little bit about your other coaching background, not just your baseball background.
Well, I've coached hockey more than baseball. So I coached hockey back in the 80s. I coached AAA hockey for about 8 years, and then when I had a family of my own, I kind of stopped coaching for a number of years until our boys got old enough to start playing hockey and baseball. And then for the last 11 years, I've been coaching both the hockey and baseball for both our boys, so kind of all year round for the last 11 years. So.
Yeah, and you come from a rather sport background of your family. You want to say a little bit about your family background?
Sure. Actually, my dad started national sports back in the 60s, and he also was an athlete, a wrestler and a football player and a hockey player, and he also he coached me and my brother as well in hockey back when we played bantam and midget. So I guess I kind of followed in his footsteps a little bit. So.
Yeah, sport's a way of life in the Clements family.
It's pretty much 12 months of the year. We joke we get April off because it's in between hockey and baseball season. So Tanya, my wife, and I always try to go away somewhere in April, and this year we did it again. So hopefully we can keep that up. But as they get older, it goes by. So now they're 16 and 20. So this may be the last hurrah. So we're gonna go do it as long as we can.
So last year, I think we featured one of your sons in the magazine. Can you tell me a little bit about him and what's happened lately with him?
Yeah, Tyler's actually here tonight. He threw batting practice for us, and he's going to help. He's helping us. He's actually working on the field right now, trying to get it. He wasn't happy with the pitching mounds. He's trying to fix that. But he spent the last 2 years playing baseball in West Virginia at Davis and Elkins College, and he had a great freshman year. And then last year, this past season, he had a little bit of injury trouble, but it's a great experience for him. And I'm not sure what he's doing next year yet, but. He had a great experience down in the U.S., so it was something he'll never forget. That's for sure.
That's great. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on this year. Now, last year you had a banner season. Your team won the OBAs and the York Region Championship as well. You're the team of the year. So you've lost a few players this year.
Yeah, we had 12 players last year. We won the York Simcoe Tier 2 Championship, the Bantam A Ontario Championships, and we were voted York Simcoe Team of the Year, minor bantam and above of all the teams in York Simcoe, so that was a big honor. We lost 5 of our 12 guys. 3 of them moved on to play on elite travel teams that travel to the U.S. and all around Ontario every weekend, so we're really proud of those guys. In fact, we got one other boy, Jesse, that's still with us. That's also playing on one of those teams, but he's doing both, so he's pretty much playing ball 7 days a week. And one of the other boys is playing with our bantam team. He was a year younger, and one is a AAA hockey player, and it was a little too much doing both, so he's going to concentrate on hockey right now. So we lost 5 of our 12, and we were fortunate enough to have, for the first time ever, we had about 30 kids come to tryouts. We don't call anybody, we don't recruit, and kids from all over York Region, Barrie, Bolton, Newmarket, Richmond Hill, Markham, they came from everywhere, Vaughan, Georgina, they came from everywhere. So we were fortunate enough to pick up mostly Aurora kids. We got 4 boys from our Aurora select team last year, which was really good, and a couple boys from out of town. So we filled in with 6 new kids, and they all are great attitudes and working hard. So I think we're going to have a good season.
So I guess it must feel good to be able to develop the players and then send them on to something else that, I mean, you hate to lose them, of course, because they're valuable players, but is that one of the philosophies you have, to try to develop the players and to get them on to bigger and better things?
Absolutely. We meet with every family, every boy. We've done this for the last 7 years. We've been with this group. The coaching staff meets after a September meeting after we pick the team. We meet with each player and each family for about 15-20 minutes. We discuss their goals, both with our season and for the future. And some of the boys have different goals. Some are just happy having fun. Others have aspirations of playing in the major leagues or playing college ball. So we kind of tailor how we treat them to what their expectations are. And so we're really proud when some of the boys, their goal was to move on and play at a higher level, that they got that opportunity. And we feel we had a little bit to do with that. And it's actually exciting to see them take that jump and hear about how they're doing. And some of them, so far, reports are they're all doing great.
That's good. Tell me a little bit about this team. What do you have hopes for? Do you have some different set of goals for this group, or do you think they can repeat?
Well, the good news is we're hosting the Ontario Championships Labor Day weekend. So if you have nothing to do, come on out. There'll be 12 teams from all over Ontario at here and at the other parks we have in Aurora. So we'll be hosting that, and Last year we went up to the Sioux, so our parents were a little bit, we're happy to know it's a little bit of work and we can use some volunteers and some sponsors, but we're doing that. But we'll have a little tougher time. We're inexperienced, and I think our pitching actually might be a little better. Some of the boys we picked up pitched really well. The boys we lost tended to be more our strong defensive and offensive players, but the pitching we actually I think will be a little better. So we might have to win some lower scoring games. Last year we scored a lot of runs and didn't give up that many. This year we might not score as many, so we're gonna have to win some closer games. Maybe play a little bit of small ball, bunting, stealing, all that kind of stuff. So it should be fun.
Before we leave, I guess I always want to give you the chance to say a little bit about the organization. I asked Nick a little bit about you, so you have to wait and see what he said about you as a coach. But can you give me any comments about the Aurora Minor Ball Association and anything that you'd like to say about them?
Absolutely. I'm really proud of the Aurora Minor Ball Association. We had our oldest son Tyler, who's 20 now. When he was 9 years old, he was on the first ever minor mosquito team, and now they've got a full house league with rep teams right from rookie ball up. We've even got talking about maybe having a junior team eventually. There's a senior team in Aurora too. So we've got a full house league that's growing quickly. And example would be last year we had a Bantam Ontario champion team, our Bantam Select team, who also play house league. They hosted the Ontarios for Select, and 4 of those boys are on our team this year, and they're just every bit as good as the boys we had from the previous year. So there's a bit of a feeder system there. This year we have a midget select team. I believe might be a Bantam and a Pee Wee select team as well as a rep team. House league is strong. Dave Giroux does a great job. He works 90 hours a week. I don't know how he actually has a full-time job. Rob Gray, our rep director, does a great job of supporting us, and the coaches work hard. It's a well-run organization. We've got a great indoor facility which we've been able to take advantage of, where we've got batting cages indoors. We've got kids coming from all over York Region want to play in Aurora right now. I know 5 years ago we'd be lucky to have 15 kids at tryout. Now we have to make very difficult decisions. We'll have, most teams will have 25, 30, 35 kids coming to tryout for 12 to 13 spots. So it's really exciting.
Thanks, Stephen. I guess that's going to wrap it up for Sport Aurora TV for tonight. So thanks to all the viewers, and we'll see you again